Hey guys, in order to clear this mission, you're going to need 3 things: equipment, friends, and a notebook. The equipment you'll want to bring will change based on what you have available to you and what you're comfortable with, but pretty much any gun with a lot of ammo will get you through Gamma. I easily completed Gamma solo using primitive tech armor and a primitive tech rifle, but barely completed it with primitive flak and a primitive shotgun. On Gamma, you'll need a minimum of 150 rounds in a primitive fab shotty. For armor, you'll want quality flak or riot minimum, especially as you increase the difficulty of the mission. Tech boots are amazing if you have access to them, as you'll likely be falling quite a bit, and fall damage is no joke. As for consumables, bring food, water, and whatever other confectionery delights you have available to you. Every bit of help you can get will make you all the more likely to survive the challenge. Now, let's talk about friends. Hey, would you want to play ARK for a little bit? I know, yeah, I know. No, you'd need to install like the base game and at least the Genesis. Yeah, I know. It'd be like 300 gigs. Okay, yeah, no, it's all good. It's all good. Yeah, have a good time. Yeah. Okay. Yep. Alright, well if you have friends, you're probably going to want them around for the higher difficulties. I almost completed the beta mission with the primitive tech armor and rifle that I mentioned earlier on, but I ran into some unfortunate snags and perished about halfway into the boss's health. If I'd had a similar geared friend with me, the mission would have been a snap. Add better gear and 3 or 4 other friends, and even alpha difficulty would be a breeze. There's one more thing we need to talk about before we get into the environments and different challenges of this particular mission. This mission basically requires a scribe. Each room will assign a challenge oriented around tracking the amount of times a specific color shows up.
That's yellow.
First, floor buttons. This challenge will require you to run over top of all white floor pads in the room. Stepping on a pad will reveal the color of the pad, which your scribe will want to note down. Number 2, collecting keys. This one is slightly different from the pads because instead of running over the designated objectives, you must pick them up with the interact key. I'm fairly confident they have the same spawn locations, so the differences between 1 and 2 are minimal at best. Number 3, Creature Slayer. The final random mission type is killing creatures. This one is by far the easiest in my opinion, because no VR creatures are spawned in to attack you, knock you off ladders, or obstruct your path and vision. Simply kill the creatures marked by the mission, and track how many of each color you kill. Designating your scribe will be important for tracking the colored objectives you complete in mission, because at the end of each room, you'll be presented with 4 colored doors that correspond to the objective colors.
Make sure you choose the right door now.
The correct colored door is the same color as the most frequent color objective you found in the room. If you killed 2 blue creatures, 1 yellow creature, 3 green creatures, and 4 pink creatures, the pink door will lead you to the next room. Highest number equals door. See? Going through any other door will force you to replay the room you just screwed up in. It's very easy to mess up the count, so your scribe will want to focus all of their attention on getting it right the first time. Protect them if they need you to. Okay, one more topic. Rooms. You'll always progress through rooms in the same order. The objectives will be randomized every single run, but the rooms will remain the same. The first room is a simple square with ladders leading up to ledges in the corners and ramps that crisscross through the center. Make sure you kill flying creatures before climbing the ladders, lest they knock you off, wasting time and dealing damage. The second room has multiple floors and an awkward top floor that you'll need to use timing to reach. You'll start off by clearing objectives on the bottom floor, then locate the jump pad found in the center of the room to access the second floor. Clear the second floor, then locate these jump pads and wait for them to point in the right direction. If you miss the timing on these, you'll fall to the first floor and waste some time. From there, if you've leveled speed properly, you'll be able to jump the gaps and make your way through the colored door of your choice. If you didn't level speed, you'll need to climb a ladder in the center of the room to access the zipline that will take you to the colored door of your choice. The third room is an absolute mess. Start off by locating the highest objectives, then moving towards the ladders and making your way up to the narrow walkways. Zipline to the center platform and use the jump pads, or drop onto this ramp and climb the ladder to access the highest platforms. Jump down off the wall ledges or use jump pads to access objectives on the pillar platforms in the corners of the room. This room is the worst for getting bumped by a flyer, so stay alert and check for dinos before you do anything, really. Finally, we have the boss room. This fight is one of my favorites in ARK because it's not just a DPS race like most of the bosses, and has to be fought on foot. A few seconds after you spawn in, the boss will spawn 2 different colored mini summoners. Stepping on all the corresponding paths disables the shield around the micro summoners, allowing you to kill them and drop the shield on the macro summoner. Watch out though, stepping on the wrong colored tile will stun you for about 5 seconds, and not only that, it'll spawn VR creatures right next to you while you're stunned. Avoid touching the wrong colored pads at all costs, no matter what difficulty you're on. Once the micro summoners are dead and the shield around the macro summoner is down, you can go to town on the main boss's health until you deal about 1/3 of his HP. After that, all shields come back up and it's rinse and repeat until he's no more. But a couple important things to note about the boss arena. Number 1, jump pads are in the corners. I'll use these if I find myself overwhelmed by VR creatures or if I need space to recover stamina. They do typically send you on a collision course with the macro summoner, but it also typically works out for me. So, number 2. It can be hard to remember which pads you've been on already. I've had a couple runs where I needed one more pink or yellow and wasted a bunch of time and stamina running back and forth between corners and center pads looking for the rogue button. Reduce how many issues you have with this scenario by just creating a path to follow. For example, I hit all the outside pads, top, all corners and bottom clusters, before I move on to the center. Figure out how you want to path it beforehand and then follow that path. Beyond that, it's kind of up to you to find the best gear and the best weapons that work for you. And just know that if you solo this, it's gonna be a rough time if you aren't well over geared for the situation. But that wraps this up. Hope this tutorial helped, and I'll see you on the ARK, Survivor.